Neo-Noir doesn't whisper. It negotiates, it manipulates, it survives. Tonight we're counting down the best neo-noir political thrillers of the 2010s, where corruption isn't the twist, it's the system.
Number 10. Zero Dark 30.
The greatness of Zero Dark 30 lies in its restraint. The direction avoids triumphalism, presenting the hunt for bin Laden as obsession rather than heroism. Its procedural realism heightens moral ambiguity. As neo-noir, it explores fixation, sacrifice, and the emptiness that follows victory. As a political thriller, it examines counter-terrorism policy, intelligence ethics, and post-9/11 geopolitics. It earns its place because it refuses to offer catharsis, only consequences.
Number 9. The Report.
The strength of The Report is its procedural intensity. The film makes bureaucracies suspenseful by focusing on persistence and documentation. The pacing builds dread through redaction and resistance. As neo-noir, it features a protagonist battling a system designed to obscure truth, with institutional darkness replacing shadowy streets. As a political thriller, it directly confronts CIA torture practices and government accountability. It belongs because it frames transparency itself as rebellion.
Number 8. Nightcrawler.
The brilliance of Nightcrawler is its central performance, cold, predatory, and utterly transactional. The script frames ambition as pathology, turning Los Angeles into a neon-lit feeding ground. As neo-noir, it is quintessential: anti-hero protagonist, urban decay, moral emptiness, and capitalism as corruption engine. As a political thriller, it critiques media ethics, sensationalism, and the commodification of violence. It earns its place because it argues that modern politics doesn't just happen in Washington, it happens in the newsroom.
Number 7. The Company You Keep.
This film's strength lies in its thematic maturity. It examines aging radicals forced to confront the consequences of their youthful ideology. The pacing is deliberate, emphasizing regret over action. As neo-noir, it deals in identity concealment, moral compromise, and the haunting nature of past sins. As a political thriller, it interrogates domestic terrorism, FBI pursuit, and the legacy of 1960s radical movements. It belongs because it questions whether revolutionary ideals survive adulthood.
Number 6. The Ghostwriter.
The greatness of The Ghostwriter is its mood. The direction is restrained, clinical, and deeply paranoid. The film slowly builds tension through suggestion rather than spectacle. As neo-noir, it's drenched in fatalism. The closer the protagonist gets to the truth, the more doomed he becomes. Isolation, betrayal, and unseen power dominate the frame. As a political thriller, it explores war crimes, intelligence agencies, and the uneasy relationship between leaders and hidden handlers. It earns its place because it shows that power's dirtiest secrets are rarely spoken aloud.
Number 5. Miss Sloane.
Miss Sloane is powered by performance. The central portrayal of a lobbyist who treats legislation like chess is magnetic and ruthless. The script crackles with rapid-fire strategy, exposing the mechanics behind gun legislation and lobbying influence. As neo-noir, its protagonist is brilliant but morally isolated, willing to sacrifice relationships for victory. As a political thriller, it dissects lobbying culture, influence peddling, and the weaponization of information. It belongs because it reveals that in modern politics, persuasion is warfare.
Number 4. The Ides of March.
The strength of the Ides of March is its performances, particularly the slow moral decay of its idealistic campaign staffer. The film is intimate, dialogue-driven, and almost theatrical, allowing ambition to reveal itself as corruption's gateway drug. As neo-noir, it replaces alleyways with campaign headquarters, but keeps betrayal, manipulation, and compromised ideals intact. As a political thriller, it dives into electoral strategy, media manipulation, and image management. It belongs because it shows how corruption doesn't start with villains. It starts with ambition.
Number 3. Sicario.
The greatness of Sicario is Denis Villeneuve's direction, controlled, tense, and visually oppressive. The border becomes a moral abyss. The film uses silence and pacing as weapons, especially in the Juarez convoy sequence, turning dread into architecture. As neo-noir, it presents a protagonist gradually stripped of agency while shadowy figures manipulate outcomes. There are no heroes, only hierarchies. As a political thriller, it interrogates U.S. foreign policy, border militarization, and the moral compromises of national security. It earns its place because it dares to ask whether legality and morality are even related.
Number 2. The Counselor.
The power of the counselor is its script. Cormac McCarthy's bleak, philosophical dialogue that turns capitalism into existential horror. The film is less about plot and more about inevitability. One bad decision made by a man who thinks he's smarter than the system. As neo-noir, it is fatalistic to the bone. Choices lead to doom, power is impersonal, and morality is irrelevant. As a political thriller, it critiques globalized drug trade economics, corporate detachment, and the illusion of control among elites. It belongs because it exposes how modern power structures operate like indifferent gods.
Number 1. Broken City.
The greatness of Broken City lies in its classical noir structure. The script leans into the private investigator template. Disgraced cop, compromised mayor, secrets that spiral into larger corruption, and grounds it in modern urban politics. Its strength is atmosphere. The film understands that corruption is not dramatic spectacle, but quiet leverage. As neo-noir, it checks every box. Morally compromised protagonist, betrayal, city as character, and a truth that only partially liberates. As a political thriller, it's about the machinery of elections, backroom power, and the transactional nature of governance. It earns its place because it reminds us that democracy can look functional while being rotten at the core.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and please keep watching The Crypt of Nights.